Denji, my boy, you know what time it is. It's time to cook. What's up, guys? So, Pencil here to do a breakdown / live reaction review to chapter 185 of Chainsaw Man, which is known as Stomach in Another World. And I'm intrigued. Last chapter was more exclusively like a character chapter for the most part. We were breaking down Denji and his development, and honestly, his weird, like, almost meta-aware knowledge that as long as he is a character that is alive, he will continuously lose people, but naturally being a character that is alive, he will continuously gain people, which is like really weird. And like the more I thought about the chapter after finishing and posting the review, I was like, wow, that was like oddly meta. Like it technically is and it isn't. That's crazy. But with that being the case, I'm excited. I think this chapter will be Denji's plan actually popping off, unless we're gonna do some more character introspection. So let's not waste any more time and let's hop right into it. Editing me. Are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go. What's up, guys? That guy with a pencil here. Fun fact: I do to have it on me and keep it on me at all times. And another fun fact: I respect aging's persistence. But I guess technically, it really depends how much time has actually passed and like how much time actually means to them. Once again, I've always talked about like immortality and how, while a younger me would have been like, yeah, immortality, a more like current me is like, immortality. Like, notably, it would have its benefits, but like, man, I think the mind would just break after like the first 1,000 years. And there are a lot more, and I mean a lot more than 1,000 years of living in our universe right now. Like, sure, the heat death of the universe is a thing, but that's not for like millions. No, I think like flat out billions of years, right? Billion? I don't think like a trillion. How long until the hypothetical heat death of the universe? Oh, after many trillions, thousands of billions of years, the cosmic time that severely appears, the stars will cease to be born, and even the lowest of the stars will gradually die. Okay, so just imagine being alone forever. So like I do genuinely wonder aging's perspective on this, considering they are likely, I mean, shoot, they had to be born at the same time as the universe, right? Like, as a concept, like, I know the D's and like what they embody and how they interact with the world is based on the humans. Like, I presume the concept of aging has existed since forever because it's the concept of aging. So the moment the universe was born, aging's been there. So I genuinely want to know, like, what is their perspective on time? It's got to be a strange thing. Let's see. I haven't given this world an exit. Look around you. Every tree was originally human. Oh, every tree. Ooh, that's a little concerning. They all spent 1 or 2,000 years contemplating escape plans, arrived at some sort of answer, and naturally turned into trees. Oh, so that's like fully accident. Oh, I thought that was like part of the problem. No. Huh. Okay, I mean, don't get me wrong. It makes perfect sense that aging wouldn't actually be so kind as to like just let them mature and then go back to their bodies. But like, they seem so docile and kind of no, they don't. No, aging is a terrible thing. Like, technically, I gotta remember, even the one guy who's marine on the tree, which was once originally a person, like, even they were like, hey, you know, I kind of just said this. Like, they did ask for it, but at the same time, you know, they were just in the throes and they were scared of aging. Like, everyone is. That's the whole reason aging's so powerful. But like, darn, man, that's devious. Like, straight up, I did not make an exit. This is my endless domain expansion, and I've had it since forever, and you're stuck here for forever. That's wild. Let's see. Turned into trees. It's okay. So wow, really fully accidental. It surprised me too. My power isn't what turns them into trees. It's a mechanism innate to humans. When they reach the culmination of thought, they turn into trees. Ugh, nasty looking. If they lived longer, they could discover unseen concepts. I want humans to live longer to find those possibilities, even if it comes at a cost. Interesting. You know, there's a mutual mind on the other platform pointing this out very, very well. But there are definitely a lot of allegories to a certain famous book in Chainsaw Man. Like, there are a lot. Heck, like this whole thing, it's very specific and reminding of a certain garden that's also very famous in that book. I will not be referencing directly a name, but this is also kind of an well, now that I think about it, it isn't just in that book, but a lot of times trees are associated with knowledge. Like, I think of this in Norse mythology, I think of it in that book. I think there's even like there's some trees in like Greek mythology and Roman mythology that like apparently have a whole bunch of wisdom or significance to them. So hypothetically speaking, it kind of like it's an interesting allegory. Ultimately, humanity, once you reach a certain point, you just become tree. You become knowledge, as of a sort. And also considering when you think about it, they wouldn't have had any stimuli, right? And it's impressive that their brains don't decay, but of course that's because they aren't aging, and aging is what will allow your brain to decay. But it's interesting that around 1,000 or 2,000 years is what it takes for a human, at least in this universe, to think their last thought. With no external stimuli other than the rest of that world, they just treeify. And very specifically, the aging says it happens once they figured out a way to escape. And I wonder if this directly contradicts what the one guy said, who was like, oh, after a while, you'll just go turn to a tree and then go back to the regular world. Like, maybe that doesn't happen. Because once again, aging is yet to mention if people have actually been able to escape their realm, and I doubt it. Well, let's see. Even if it comes at a cost. But, no, that's also interesting. My brain kind of glazed over it, but if they lived longer, they could discover unseen concepts. What does that mean? Like, once again, it really depends on, like, the dualistic nature. The dualistic, biological, double-sided, devious nature of the D and human relationship, when you think about it. Because, notably, the concepts, or the Ds, get more powerful based on how much they are feared. And naturally, there are some things that all creatures will innately fear, right? Like no matter what, something that is alive will fear no longer being alive, right? So a plant, an animal, that's why typically the urge to reproduce is so strong in like every living thing. Because we understand we will not continue for that long unless we need to continue the bloodline and stuff like that. So there's that. But it's interesting that aging in particular has taken an interest in humans for their capacity to surpass their understanding, the thing that's probably been around since the dawn of creation, considering we know the D's existence is what creates the concept, or vice versa, the concept's existence is what creates the D. That's why when Chainsaw Man erases them, the concept becomes undone. Humans have the capacity to possibly, at least in aging's eyes, surpass that. In a period of only 2,000 years. It may be like, Pencil, did you just say only 2,000 years? But remember, the universe is 13 billion years old. For reference, how much is 13 billion divided by 2,000? 6,500,000. There have been 6,500,000 2 millenniums. 2,000 years has happened 6.5 million times since the birth of the universe, and at least according to the heat death thing I just looked up, it's going to be a long time before it ends. So the fact that humans reach that like almost ripeness point of treeness, which is crazy considering that's just like a natural thing, they reach that natural point of treeness after only 2,000 years. It's kind of crazy. You'd think it would be a bigger number. You'd think it'd be like an eon, which is 10. I always forget. For some reason, I always, back in the day, I always thought eon was 1,000, but millennia is 1,000. How long is an eon? Is it 10,000? 1 billion years. Oh, jeez, yeah. So, eon. And technically, the universe is only 12 eons old. I say 12 as if a billion is a small amount. But still, that's crazy to think about. And there are still billions, there are eons upon eons upon eons before the world will end. So I'm interested to see what unseen concepts Fujimoto will try to explore using aging, if we get to explore it at all. Because there's still a highly likely the possibility that this sort of ends up as a spoiler for another manga, so I won't talk about it, but there's a plot point in another manga that got set up pretty well by an interesting and knowledgeable character, kind of like aging, that also ended up going nowhere, because like it kind of couldn't, and I'm assuming this is going to be one of those. Let's see. And that's interesting. So why do they want to sacrifice children in particular? Oh, interesting. So, okay. We're no longer in the human world. Where back in this world, aging is sitting on the old man. All right. It's as you say. It's as you say, sir. I'm deeply moved. Oh, interesting. For Japan, no, for mankind, I must live longer and lead the world in the right direction. Greed. 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 But, like, I know public safety is dumb, but like, I don't know, even just thinking, I mentioned it before, I'll mention it again, 5 seconds. 5 seconds. It doesn't take long to think how much of the universe would just stop working if things stopped aging. At least the universe as we know it. Once again, the question of whether or not anything can exist in perpetuity is kind of strange. We have to face that. Like, ultimately, we have to face that something is eternal. Because as far as we know, the only thing that's eternal is the nothingness that is beyond creation. It'll be there before, it was there before us, and it'll be there after our end, right? Because other than that, everything that we know of that is a thing, everything that's not a no thing, everything that is a thing dies. Even things that seem like they shouldn't. I mean, technically, I guess you could say a rock doesn't die, because it'd just be floating out in the void of space. So technically, the only thing that doesn't die, but like the universe itself will die. The heat death of the universe will cease all light in it, which will, for all intents and purposes, be the death of the universe, right? So like, if the very universe can die, man, I wonder what that means. Oh, that means the universe is aging. You mean light can have like years to it, which means aging? Oh, you mean light would stop traveling if things were to stop aging? Oh, you know, every single biological function that passes within your body is a result of aging existing. Oh, that's crazy, but that's a whole lot of stuff. Like, dog. It's just a domino effect of like things getting worse and worse and worse the more you think about it. So, but I guess this is human, right? That's the one thing I'll give. This is very human, right? Because ultimately everyone fears the end of their own life. I mean, there's some people who don't. There's some people who wild out. And hey, more power to you. But like, even me personally, as much as I've come to accept the fragile nature of human life, especially my own, just because like I've had like multiple revelations or close calls where I'm like, oh sweet mother of mercy, I really am fragile. But even then, I don't really admit, I still got fear of it. Aging still definitely getting amps for me, bro. I hate that I can feel my knees. I was like, gosh darn, I used to be able to crawl around on you guys, no problem. But now, dare I do that, I will explode. And that's a product of aging. So I do get the fear, right? And this guy's on the verge. He could die at any second right now. Look at him. So I mean, I blame him because he's going to accidentally ruin the world if it actually works out. But at the same time, exactly, because it's human. It's not even human, it's life. Like, that's the thing. Like I mentioned, all living things reproduce out of the fear of aging, the fear of death. Let's see. So, how do you, a boy who's lived for less than 20 years, intend to escape on your own? That's a good question. Let's see. Smart. Okay. A lot of people did call it. I think it was in last week's comment section or before that, but like a lot of people called this. So this is called online too. I ran just now to make myself hungry, because unlike English brain. To make myself hungry, because unlike your other prisoners, my stomach isn't here, which is interesting. That's the, but I guess fun. So I wonder if his heart is here, because his heart is Pochita, right? So like, if we were to do an X-ray inside of Denji right now, does he have organs? Like, he presumably still has lungs. He's still breathing. Like, does he even have a heart that's pumping his blood? Like what is Denji, bro? Is he kind of like in a state of suspended death, like, or suspended life? Like, essentially, is he kind of like in a moving cryo sleep? Because if his stomach's not here, because it's Pochita's, and his heart isn't here, because that's literally Pochita, then like, how is he functioning? In fact, if you were to pull down his tank top right now, would you see the what's it called? Not the trigger. What's it called? Brain function, please. What's it called? Think. I can't Jimmy Neutron brain blast this. The extension cord, whatever. The thing that comes out of his chest that you pull on. The inciting incident. I wonder if it's even there. Because he may technically, for all intents and purposes, be heartless and stomachless right now, if this is the logic. Let's see. My stomach isn't here. Aging is like, oh, I didn't realize that would work. But you know what? That's also interesting. That aging really has not little control, because obviously they have absolute divine and guaranteed control over their world. But the fact that they don't control what happens to the humans there. They do legit just capture them, leave them, and then essentially let them grow and ferment. Like, kind of like how we don't necessarily, well, technically we kind of do control plants to a degree now, because, biogenetic engineering. But ultimately, we kind of can't control fruit, right? Like we can plant it, we can care for it, and all that, but like still, it can just die. It can just explode. It can just do that. Like, it can just not grow, and that's the same thing with humans here for aging. So ultimately, they control the very world. Just like, it is actually exactly just like a person who creates anything. But why is coming to mind because of the whole idea of aging for better potential, but. Technically, it is exactly like that, because aging owns the land that the fruits are planted on, aka aging owns the world that they created, and the humans or the seeds that they're planting. Just like a farmer will own land, plant the seeds, and then try to take care of them and make them grow. Ultimately, aging doesn't have to, because the innate world itself allows them to, not age. Let's see. Hey, Asa. I cobbled one together. FYI, I'm normally much better at making things. Oh, what'd you do? I used a tooth from that devil you... God, I said the word! Editing me, we'll risk it. Because like, I do it because, I'm scared of the YouTube. But I think it'll be fine. Let's see. I used a tooth from that D you puked out. Interesting. Are you gonna chop down a tree? You gonna chop down a person? Okay, Denji. Swing. Oh, jeez. No, I thought it was a question mark. No, it's an exclamation point. Interesting. I wonder what this is meant to do. Is that meant to, like, wake? Once again, I wonder, so, like, are any of Denji's sensory organs here? Like, what, is this going to relay back to Pochita? Why just randomly strike at one of the trees? The treeple. Oh, well, it broke him out of his psychosis. All right. Hey, that isn't a tree. It's a person. A human. I know! And he's like, this is not my first, nor will it be my last. You do not want to know the things I've done. But, okay. Swing. Ooh, we got the juices spewing out of that bad boy. Once again, I'm sorry, I keep going back to, like, the fruit analogy. But, like, kind of like how when you harvest a fruit or vegetables, I'm sorry, sometimes you just gotta hit it to get the juices out. I know there's some cases where, like, you do actually need to, like, hit a fruit to tell, or like at least grab it to see how ripe it is. So technically, this is Denji just checking out how ripe the human people are. The treeple. Let's see. That. I mean, sadly enough, unless there's something crazy with this chapter, this is probably thumbnail material. Oh wait, no. Okay, so he does still have it. That's weird. I see the vision. I see. Okay. Because by using the blood he gets here, if it gets funneled to Pochita's stomach, Pochita will regenerate. Okay. That's the thing, though. I think they're still cooked, because that may wake Pochita up in the real world. But unless that directly affects Denji's consciousness, I think they still should be cooked. Because the main reason I say that is, doesn't Pochita still need to eat aging, which, like, breaks the universe? Right? Like, ultimately, the only way to get out is to defeat aging, or at least force aging to take them out, but aging kind of wants to lose and be eaten, so, like, is it a good idea? But let's see. I love how Asa looks less shocked than the dude. But you know what? Now I think about it. No, this guy was a D-hunter. But, like, Asa has, at this point, most likely seen worse and crazier. But let's see. He pulls the thing. Up. But she was like, wait. Whoa. Why do I feel that? Across dimensions. I'll sleep at their mercy. How long have I been laying here? 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Let's see. He's up. Yeah. So he's fully regenerated. All right. Okay. That's a smart play by Denji. That's a really smart play. Interesting. But I still want to see how this results in them breaking free. I'm counting on you, Pochita. Oh, ain't that sweet? Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I mean, it's a little bit horrific, but still, it's beautiful. I'm counting on you, Pochita. He's standing on business. But like, shouldn't he still get washed? Denji, he didn't go through character development. Like, sure, he's back to full health, but he was losing to Yoru. I mean, like, he got off guarded by Yoru, but like, still, he was losing to Yoru. Are you sure you want him to run smoke with aging? Let's see. Oh, I see. Why does... I'll admit though, I have my personal critiques for Fujimoto's art style. Like, would I even say it's in my top 5 faves of New Gen? My Hero Academia, Dr. Stone, Black Clover. I can name 3 more easy. I'm trying to think of just like weekly shonen manga though. Heck, crazy enough to dare I say each? That's kind of crazy. I won't say that. Sakamoto Days. And then, heck, even on Dead Alive. Yeah, it's not my favorite art style, but Fujimoto never fails to make Pochita look cool. Like, I mean, obviously this is kind of looking a little bit rough here, but still, whenever Pochita's just standing there, the menace, the swagger, the style, it's endless. It's literally, it's boundless. Pochita himself may be bounded, but the swagger is boundless, dog. Jeez. Members of public safety. It seems that Chainsaw Man is going to come here. But still, though, like Denji, I'm happy. Like they got to figure out a way to defeat aging without actually defeating it, or defeat aging without eating aging. If you know what I'm talking about, right? Defeat and defeat only, not just eat, because I still think we're on track for like break the universe kind of thing if we destroy aging. Because the universe needs time. It needs aging in order to function, at least like at all. At least with things still being in motion. Once again, maybe you could argue the whole world would just turn into aging's world and everything would become timeless. And then maybe then people wouldn't grow hungry, people wouldn't have to eat, people wouldn't get thirsty. But like, I just don't want to risk that. Because it seems that in aging's world, the only thing affected are the people who are brought in there. By proxy, the humans. Meanwhile, everything in creation would be affected by the lack of aging, with aging disappearing because aging represents the concept of aging. So I don't know. But still, a W chapter. My big brain Denji boy. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. He even took the real risk, though. Like he chopped hay. And ironically enough, you know what's crazy? I mean, who knows? Maybe this triple is still alive in some way, shape, or form, even though it had its guts ripped out. But at the same time, for all intents and purposes, Denji and aging made the same kind of sacrifice, right? Because when you look at it, I want humans to live longer to find those possibilities, even if it comes at a cost. That cost would be human life. Naturally, of course. It's a human life, human freedom, human sentience. And Denji made a sacrifice of human life, human freedom, human sentience by attacking this triple and feeding himself in order to attack aging through Pochita. So, like, aging and Denji, they may not be as different as I initially see, which is actually some quality writing. I do like when the villain's motives or the villain's style and the hero style overlap. It creates a real interesting dynamic, and I'm just a little bit excited to see it cook. But with it being the case, thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, please leave. He has risen. Pochita say he, right? Yeah, I say Pochita say he has risen. In the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. Remember to leave a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Also do happen to have a Patreon below where you can support me for as one channel, no monthly things like exclusive videos, early content, and more. You can also now become a member of the channel for as low as $3 a month to get the same perks and more. So those perks include the live reactions to the series I'm to review, ad free of all my videos, and becoming to a Patreon and $12 member. You can order whatever video you want. Also do have a link to my Ko-Fi in the description down below. You can shop 5 means for a short video, 20 of these for a long video, or any means at all. Any support is always greatly appreciated. Now, I'd like to thank you so much for watching once again, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is that guy with the pencil, writing off. I'd like to give a thank you to our $3 members, Zara, Greyhound, Eternal Flame, Redwolf 4765, Astro, Brandon Payne, Glacier XZ, and G Prosper. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $5 members, A plus A, Ignil Lind, Kevin Encarnacion, Midnight Lord 21, and Sean. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $7 members, Fine, Austin Wimberly, Euchiha, and Yuki Ally. And I'd like to give a thank you to our $10 members, AZ Void, J Warrior, and Robbie Uchiha. And I'd like to give a big ol' thank you to our $10 patrons, Overlord Zero, Waki Munoz, and Idem Okami. And I'd like to give a final, gracious, gargantuan thank you to our $100 That Guy with a Pencil Tier patron, Calvin Elder.